I law Ray Lewis,
Brian Urlacher.
Brian Urlacher.
Just off Brian Urlacher's story alone, the fact that he's probably the highest drafted New Mexico player ever, 9th overall, played some wide receiver, played some running back. I think he even played quarterback a little bit, but he was a safety predominantly for New Mexico and a punt returner. And you go from that to being the heart and soul of the Chicago linebackers, the Chicago Bears defense. Him and Lance Briggs, but mostly him. And you put him at middle linebacker.
Well,
and he's arguably better than some of the greatest Bears linebackers ever.
Here's the other thing.
He's up there with Singletary.
I think added to that is the fact that he essentially propelled the Bears into a decade of relevance
into a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman.
When they weren't relevant for a cool minute, and they haven't been relevant since. So that tells you how important he was.
He was the face of the Bears.
And Ray Lewis, I mean, despite his offseason stuff and despite who he is as a media personality, I mean,
and they don't hold against.
He's the first franchise player.
And they don't hold the Atlanta murders against him anymore.
But let's be real.
He gonna get it.
Let's be real, though.
He's a media darling.
Let's go on a tangent here on the Touchdowns and Tangent show.
Tangent or take.
If we're doing an all-time team right now,
he about to say something blasphemous.
I give you a pick off that Ravens defense. Are you taking Ed Reed or Ray Lewis in their primes?
Oh, that's not fair.
You can only
Who
get
are my
one.
safety options? Because if you can give me, if Sean Taylor's, see, that's not fair.
I'm telling you, you got to decide between Ray Lewis and Ed Reed.
I would have to take Ed Reed. I would really want Ray Lewis, but I could survive without Ray Lewis.
And
Ed Reed does everything and more. Like he's the reason that the Ravens got away with having trash corners for a couple of years. But Ed Reed was back there, so it was okay. But damn, that's so. Who would you rather have on your team, Urlacher or Ray Lewis? Urlacher was more athletic.
I would say Ray Lewis, just because he's an intimidating force. Not to say Brian Urlacher isn't, but like you said, Brian Urlacher is more of jack of all trades.
Ray Lewis was the face of Madden.
He's an all-around guy versus, I mean, Ray Lewis is the intimidating run stuffer. He's the sideline-to-sideline guy.
Because you remember when he was like 260 with those huge shoulder pads, and then they switched from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and he's still the best linebacker in the league? Like, that's tough. Like, I would want Ray, but I'm a bigger Ed Reed fan. But in terms of linebackers, there's about 5 names you could say, and then if you don't say Ray Lewis, you're being disrespectful. And you're kidding yourself. But when we're talking about disrespect, I can't think of any more disrespect than T.O. being robbed of being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, really? I would cuss everyone out if they...
Really? Because you don't think Tom Flores not being in isn't completely disrespectful?
Okay, Tom Flores isn't like second or third all time in Super Bowl wins. And wins in general. You can't compare Tom Flores as a coach to T.O.
Tom Flores has more coaches and has a higher winning percentage and more Super Bowls than a bunch of coaches.
I
in the Hall of Fame.
agree. But you know how
all right, man.
does
let's move
Raiders.
off the subject. Let's move into
You're really mad about this.
Current NFL. So the playoffs. Kenny is
3-1.
Relentless 3-1.
I called it though.
He's not letting anyone forget that he's 3-1. And I am on the
Put some respect
spectrum.
on my ledger.
I am 1-3.
I was trolling when
That's
I said the
good
Bills
thing
were
about
gonna win.
this. No, you were not.
I was trolling.
You were
bro.
not. You were not.
Audience, y'all know I was trolling. All the
anyways. So the point is, that's the good thing about this show is we can't really agree on anything, and we usually take tangents everywhere on the Touchdowns or Tangents. So unlike most shows, when we make picks, we're not just gonna all agree with each other. So,
and I didn't think the Rams are ever gonna win.
Kenny, real quick, give me your biggest takeaway from Wild Card Weekend.
The Jaguars have a Super Bowl defense, and Blake Bortles has to be doing the same drugs that Jimmy Smith and Matt Jones were doing back in the day.
If he thinks he's LeBron James.
If he thinks he's LeBron James. He's like, they talk trash about LeBron James, so I guess, if they talk about him, they're going to talk about me. Bro, you're trash. If Derek Carr was on the Jaguars team, they'd probably be undefeated.
That's a fair statement. And they could have dropped
And they don't have Allen Robinson, who's a free agent. And we're going to get the free agents, too. Sorry. The fact that Blake Bortles said that made me want to throw up.
My biggest takeaway is that the Rams are who we thought they were. They came out slow.
Green.
They came out slow.
Stole a dead man's tape.
They needed help.
They needed some milk.
Okay, can you stop?
I'll stop.
Anyways, the Rams are who we thought they were. The Falcons are who we thought they were. They look finally like they're starting to click on all cylinders. And the NFC is pretty much wide open because I don't think either of those top two teams with a bye scare anybody. And with the way the two teams that won last weekend are rolling, either it's any of the four teams could win, go to the Super Bowl.
The Saints defense is
shaky. The AFC was a total snooze fest, so it's clearly going to be Pittsburgh and New England, which is what we thought from day one of the preseason.
But the Titans beat the Chiefs, and the Alex Smith era is over.
And Marcus Mariota threw a pass to himself.
So he blocked it. He caught it. He did everything. He put the team on his back. He did everything but play defense.
Okay. So, go ahead. Let's give our picks for this week.
Okay, so it's Saints-Vikings?
I think so. That sounds right.
And Falcons-Eagles?
No, it's the other way around. No? No, you're right. It's Falcons-Eagles, yeah.
The road to the Super Bowl goes through Minnesota. And the Saints are great, and yes, they're dome teams. But I don't see... I feel like this is Drew Brees' year. That's my thing. But the Vikings' defense is stingy, man. No. I'm talking myself down. I'm going Saints over Vikings. It's the Saints' year. The Saints are going to march in, and the Vikings are going to have a complete overload and snap because Case Keenum is going to get exposed against the Saints' defense. The Vikings' line is better. Offensive line has gotten better, but Cameron Jordan's an all-pro. Marshawn Lattimore's a shutdown corner. Marcus Williams is a really good free safety.
Shout out to Elmer.
I don't see. This will have to be a really low-scoring game for the Vikings to win.
Listen,
I'm going Saints over Vikings yet again. Putting another one out there, and then I'm just gonna say that the Eagles are not beating the Falcons. This is not like the NFC Championship game when Vic and McNabb went head-to-head and McNabb was finally going to have his chance. Nah, Falcons are like, oh, we're mad now. We're pissed. Julio Jones is coming.
And Vic took him down to the wire.
Julio Jones is coming. They're already making Matt Ryan memes. Pause.
Anyways.
It's the year of the Alabama receiver. All right, I'm done.
Honestly, I was going to pick the Saints for a lot of the same reasons that you're saying, but just because I need to catch up to you, I'm going to go Vikings, and I'm going to give you the take of why their defense is too dominant, especially the defensive line.
Complete 80% of his passes.
Especially the defensive line. So, when you're talking about stopping that running game and the amount of... It's weird because they have the best of both worlds. You have Ingram who can get really downhill, and then you have Kamara who can... create as far as cutbacks and all that. So
don't call it a cutback.
Anyways, I'm losing it. Point is, Minnesota's defensive line can match up and stop a lot of those holes, and so I'm going Minnesota, even though I think their receivers are extremely overrated. But
Minnesota's receivers are low-key kind of trash.
I agree with you on Atlanta.
Trash,
Atlanta's rolling. Philadelphia, the best thing they have going for them is their defensive line and
Pat McKinley, Oakland.
And being at home.
East Oakland, Bay Area, town business.
AFC, I got Pittsburgh over
Jacksonville.
Even though Ben Roethlisberger threw 5 picks, that was an admiration. Juju is Juju now. AB has always been AB, and Le'Veon Bell's about to put the team on his back because he really doesn't care. Le'Veon Bell doesn't care about anything. He just wants to win.
Shout out to Martavis Bryant, who has to be. The Jaguars are deep, but they're not that deep at corner to where you're going to cover three. You're going to cover three guys at receiver and Le'Veon Bell. So really, it's like four. So like, I just feel like Jalen Ramsey's great.
The real question is
AB 100%.
The real question is, are you willing to take Tennessee over the Patriots? Because
you see, there's a thing I call knowing when your luck has run out. And when it comes to Mariota and the Titans, I don't see how... I like the Titans. This would be like the upset of the century. I don't see how the Titans can go 4 quarters. If they go down to New England, I don't see them coming back the same way they came back against the Chiefs. Even though the Titans are a good physical matchup,
the Patriots will put their foot on their throat
offensively, and the refs will help you. Yeah, they will. I'm saying it. A controversial call will go against the Titans in this game. I guarantee it.
You mean like a bunch of them went against the Chiefs? But that's neither here or there.
Patriots. Right, I got Patriots and Steelers.
All right, I got the same. So pretty much the only way I'm gonna catch you is the Vikings, man.
Yeah, and you're not gonna catch me, bro.
Anyways, so let's wrap it up. We only have like a minute each, roughly, like 30, 45 seconds. So go.
You go first, because I went first last time.
All right, man. So pretty much it's 2018. We're out here trying to go strong with the content. As the title says, the conglomerate is manifesting. So just keep creating, keep owning, and stay in your lane. If you're a creator, create. If you're mainstream, then be mainstream. But don't be afraid to be yourself. There's nothing wrong with being mainstream, or someone has to do it.
That was the most trash take ever. Like, did you just rip that off Joe Budden's Instagram page?
Why?
I'm upset.
I didn't even read that.
I wanted you to do a deeper dive.
We don't have any time because you wanted to talk about Pro Football Focus in the title game. All right, we only have like 1 minute.
Right, bottom line is, I've been doing a lot of reflecting. Just when I came back from Vegas and even now. And, like, some things I'll say this. Now more than ever, you really got to trust your gut in life. You just have to. You can't be stuck in a situation you hate and just be content with it, because your life will be terrible if you don't actually go there and take a chance on yourself. Like, that's the only thing you can do is take a chance on yourself, because sometimes nobody else will, and you might be the only person to do it. So take a chance on yourself. That's all I got to say.
All right. So without further ado, this is the Touchdowns and Tangents show. We thank you for joining us. We hope you like it. Subscribe. We're on Speaker, iTunes, SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
Google Play.
Like us, share us, add us, call us out, troll us, whatever you got to do.
At Pete Certified, at Ozo Grande, Ozo Grande.
Support your local hood spots, and have a good week. Be safe.
Manage your money.
And request body cameras
all day.